everyone, welcome back. And today, oh boy, a special treat for you guys. It's my first ever Reddit Stories video. Tell me how you guys like it. And before we hop into the intro, please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. Thank you a lot, and roll the intro.
Fucking no, bitch. Hey! Got all this paper, I don't go to class. Shorty look good with that double stuffed ass. Shoe made a gator, so I'll see you later. Your boy meant to fade all. Your shit is trash. She only a 5 in her face, so her head get a bag in my time.
Okay, so our first story. Let's see. A pair of entitled parents hold up the line at Starbucks so their entire 30-plus person family can order drinks before anybody else. About 2 weeks ago, I went into a Fred Meyer on a blisteringly hot day to get my frappe. Then to get some much needed shopping done. If you enter the north side entrance of this Fred Meyer, 117th store in Vancouver, Washington, the Starbucks is right there. I moved my car around to get in line. Presently, two women I wager were Pan-Pacific Asian were at the head of the line. Behind them, an older white male, somewhere in his 60s, leaning against a cart with stuff in it. Man, that dude looked pissed about something. I hadn't been in line 2 minutes when the man cursed something under his breath and shook his head, walking off. I figured, his lost my gain, right? Oh, I'd be so wrong. I got behind the two Asian women and waited to be served. One of the attendants, someone I considered a very good friend behind the counter, moves over and discreetly whispers, "OP, you're going to be waiting a while. Brace yourself." I had no idea what they meant. I would soon enough. That's when a gaggle of about 5 young boys, around 9 to 13, came over. They led them to the ordering station, and they ordered. They then went over to the presentation counter. I started to inch forward, but woman 2 holds her hands outstretched in the universal "wait right there" or "stop right there" gesture. "Oh no, we're not done." "Wait," she said firmly. I was confused. A minute later, from that north side entrance, another 10 or so teenagers and young adults walk in. The woman held me back as one by one, every teen and young adult was shown to the ordering station, cutting ahead of me and more people that had gathered behind me. I could hear these people behind me reacting in ways as understandable as saying, "oh, for sake," to things that would probably get me banned even if I quoted it in context. An example, a racist. Just when I thought the war was over, and now realize why the old man had stormed off, a third gaggle of now full adults came in. The two women shown them to the front of the line. The people behind me were about to give these women a piece of their mind. My friend behind the counter said that they've been there for nearly an hour. It wasn't just their family, but their entire church, too. "The entire church?" I stage whispered to my friend. They sadly nodded and went back to work. At this point, I decided I'd be better off just taking my money, buying the ingredients, and making my own frappes at home. I tap out of the line, fearing someone was going to get violent. No epic conclusion, no fight, no witty banter. Just me having to sulk and go home and make my own drinks. So, that was a story. I wish that we knew more. But, let's move on to the next story. Hello, I'm back, and, this story sounds like it's gonna be a pretty good one. It's called "I'm Not Disabled Enough," according to Karen. I've mentioned to my therapist a few times how I struggle with what people might think of me, and this actually has been a fear of mine, being told that I need to prove just how disabled I am because I don't look disabled enough. I always thought this was unrealistic, so of course, I got unlucky enough for it to actually happen. I was at a theme park yesterday with friends, and since you read the title, I'm sure you can imagine we looked into some sort of special access pass. I have a rather odd leg condition. It has a name, but I'm not sure what it's called in English, but it's a sort of infection in the ankle bone that has caused permanent damage. Needless to say, getting in rides and such takes me a little longer. Standing in line all day was something I'd like to avoid. And A, the theme park is accommodating. They offer a special pass. Mind you, this isn't a fast pass or anything. It just puts you in a separate line where there's room for wheelchairs and seats for people like me. Overall, the waiting time was pretty much the same, but they help a lot with getting into the ride if you're in this line. To get the pass, you didn't need to show anything proving your disability, but it did say you could be subject to being asked to prove it. Fair enough. I wear special shoes. One is basically a knee-high boot, and it stands out, which most of the employees saw. They checked my pass and everything was fine. I did have the diagnosis from my doctor screenshot, just in case they would ask. The employees didn't, but Karen is a whole other story. I'm standing in line with my companions when someone walking up behind us. There were a few people in front of us too. I heard a woman make a noise of disappointment and at how long the line was. The woman lit up a cigarette, a bit rude to do in line, and my friend has asthma, so he asked her to move back a little. That's where the problem started. Karen makes a noise I can only describe as the call of a Karen. She did move back, but screeched something about how he had to make sure the employee would know she was there and that no one would cut in line. Not an unreasonable request, honestly, but it could have been said in a kinder manner. The employee comes out and checks everyone's passes. They do this because the pass has a mention of whether the visitor will need extra help getting in or not. The employee asks the group who has the pass, so I showed him everything is fine. They asked Karen too, and she showed hers. She finished her cigarette and joins the line again, this time asking, "So, what's your disability?" I can tell her it's something to do with my leg, and I point at my shoes. She seems displeased by it, saying that's not a disability. I'm asking if you're disabled. I'm a little thrown off. I'm willing to share it, but it also has it's also something private, and it doesn't concern her. I tell her I have an ankle condition, and turn around to stop talking to her. Something to note here: she did have a child with her, though by all appearances there was nothing visibly disabled about him. Not my proudest moment, but the thought of her faking a disability did cross my mind. But I didn't speak on it. The Karen kept talking to me though. All the usual staff to stop ignoring her. All the usual stuff to stop ignoring her. I'm sorry that I'm like cutting, guys. Like I'm like freezing and stuff. It's because I read and then I notice that I say something wrong and then yeah. All usual stuff to stop ignoring her, that I should respect my elders, blah blah blah. Other people are starting to notice and we're drawing a bit of attention here. One of my friends, a bit uncomfortable with confrontation and knowing I'm not, said, "It's none of your business. Would you like it if we asked what you or your daughter's disability is either?" To which she responded, "My child is autistic, so she's actually disabled." Employees come out again, letting people in, and when they reach us, they tell them, "This boy isn't disabled at all. Remove him from the line, please." I'm 28 years old, by the way, hardly a boy. The employees look at us, then back to Karen and says, "Well, they have the facility pass, and we check those." He gets cut off and starts And she starts talking about how her daughter is autistic and I'm clearly not. And I responded and said something like, yeah, I'm not autistic, but I do have her disabilities. These shoes aren't exactly a fashion choice. The employee definitely didn't want to be a part of this and told the woman to leave us be. He let a few people in, my group included, but not the caring. In the hallway to the ride, he said, wow, what was that about? Something I haven't mentioned up until now. I'm something something I haven't mentioned up. I am so sorry, guys. Something I haven't mentioned up until now. I'm pretty much blind. The reason I say this is because I don't look blind, or so I've been told at least. Because of this, it sadly isn't the first time someone has questioned just how disabled I am. I told the employee it happens sometimes. Sadly, I thank the employees for their help and enjoyed the ride. But man, F that Karen. So, yeah guys, that was definitely a really good story. Um, Let me know if you guys like this video, give me suggestions in the comments below. And if you made it this far in the video, comment in your comment, put the eggplant emoji so I know that you guys watched the video. And I would like to know if you guys have had any entitled people experiences. Just something that would be interesting to know. And make sure to join my Discord. There's a link in the description. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Roll the outro.